What's up, Guardians, and welcome back, Warlocks. I'm Profane, thanks for checking out the video. Today we're checking out an incredible Warlock build that has just gotten a massive buff here in Edge of Fate, and it's going to be a great option for Warlocks to take into anything that you jump into here in this new expansion. Lightning Surges have always made for fun builds to use, but up until recently, they always felt weak in comparison to Titan Consecration. But those times are over, and here in Edge of Fate, Lightning Surges are just as good, if not better, than Consecration. The Prismatic subclass lets us combine Lightning Surges with our Strand melee, and that gives us 3 total charges to be able to perform consecutive surges. And we've also got Transcendency, which massively amplifies our grenade and melee cooldown, so you're going to be surging all over the place. The exotic that we're revolving this build around is an exotic class item featuring the Spirit of Syntheseps and Spirit of Necrotic. We've chosen this combination because of the bonus melee damage that Syntheseps will provide, and the bonus damage over time that the Necrotics will inflict. The Spirit of Syntheseps will provide us with a 165% bonus in melee damage whenever Biotic Enhancement is active. So as long as we've got at least 3 enemies nearby, we'll be able to reap the benefits of massively buffed melee and glaive damage. Once we've struck those enemies, the Spirit of Necrotic will kick in to apply poisonous damage over the course of 10 seconds, and this poison can spread to nearby enemies, adding to the overall potency of our Surge, which is already applying Jolt through its series of lightning strikes. This doesn't work as well as its counterpart, but this will still lead to a significant increase in our overall damage output, and we could pair this with exotic weapons like the Thorn, Osteostriga, or the Necrochasm to be able to spread even more poison. And we've got several additional options at our disposal to be able to increase our surge damage far beyond what it's ever seen before. We're pairing Lightning Surge with the Feed the Void aspect, which grants us with Devour. Devour took a hit in the latest update, but this will continue to provide us with a reliable source of health regeneration. This also provides us with increased grenade energy off of each kill, granting between 7 and 20% energy based on the difficulty level of the enemy. Since we have extra grenade energy coming in, we could opt in for an extra source of healing by using healing grenades, but we've chosen to go with Cold Snap so that we have a way of freezing enemies. Frozen enemies are much easier to hit with a Surge, and if we use Facet of Courage, we'll cash in on a 50% bonus in melee damage. This only applies to light-powered melees whenever they're used against slowed, frozen, unraveled, or severed enemies, so we just need to be sure that we're applying those in order to get the bonus. And keep in mind that our Transcendent Grenade does generate stacks of slow, and our Standard Strand melee does apply Unravel, so we do have a couple of options to apply those darkness debuffs. The damage from Facet of Courage will stack on top of the bonus damage that the Syntheseps provides, so we really want to take advantage of this bonus as much as possible. Any other source of light damage will get a 10% increase with Facet of Courage, which does include our super, but this version of the Syntheseps does not increase our super damage. As an alternate grenade option, we could go with Vortex Grenades, along with the Facet of Dominance. This would cause those grenades to apply Weaken, which would give us an extra 15% damage from any source. But I would only use this as an option if we had other ways of applying those debuffs, but we would need to use weapons with Chill Clip, Headstone, Slice, or Tear. We are using Facet of Dawn with this build, so we'll give our weapons a 20% bonus in damage after striking them with our Lightning Surge, and since 1-2 Punch works with Lightning Surge, we'll gain a 150% bonus in surge damage after hitting enemies with those weapons, so this will naturally pair up well with shotguns like the Perfect Paradox, the Sword Breaker, or the new precision shotgun, the Precipitial. There's also the Aurora Neutralizer, which is a kinetic hand cannon, and it can come with 1-2 Punch. So that's going to be a very powerful option with this build, especially when it's getting a continuous 20% bonus in damage. Weapons that come with a Pugilist trait would also be very beneficial to this build, as this would provide bonus melee energy on every final blow, with fusion rifles, shotguns, and snipers providing 20% bonus energy, and all other weapon types providing 10%. One of my favorite weapons to use with this build is the Monte Carlo, as it generates bonus melee energy and gains bonus damage off of melee final blows. So this is going to keep those melee charges filled. And auto rifles get the nod towards overload duties right now, which means that this is going to cause disruption. To help give us a steady supply of ability energy, we are using Facet of Awakening and Facet of Balance. Facet of Balance provides us with 10% bonus melee energy whenever rapidly defeating enemies with light damage, and 10% grenade energy when rapidly defeating enemies with dark. And by using Facet of Awakening, we'll generate elemental pickups, which include ionic traces, so that's another 15% bonus melee energy that we'll get, along with 15% bonus grenade and class energy. We could go with Facet of Protection to give us extra damage resistance, but we're using Facet of Sacrifice so that we can regenerate our Transcendency energy even faster. This way we can activate our Lightning Surge more often, and we'll be able to apply Facet of Courage's damage bonus much more consistently. When it comes to our choice in Super, we could go with Song of Flame for the overall damage resistance. It makes for a great oh shit option, but because of some of our new artifact mods, you'll find it more beneficial to run Nova Bomb or Needle Storm. When it comes to our artifact, there's a few standout mods that you'll need to be sure to have equipped. One of those is Shield Crush. This provides a 50% bonus to melee damage and regeneration, but that's only whenever we have an Overshield, Frost Armor, or Woven Mail active, so to make use of this mod, we would need to use Facet of Purpose. This also provides a 25% increase to grenade damage and grenade regeneration, which we'd be able to maintain indefinitely since it'll be triggered off of Amplified and Radiance. Another great mod to use with this build will be Refresh Threads, which provides bonus ability energy whenever collecting elemental pickups, but it's only going to provide that energy when the elemental pickup matches our super, and this is going to provide that energy to whichever ability has the least. One of the biggest changes to this expansion has been armor, so let's go ahead and talk about what you'll need to be looking for when setting up your own build. This build is focused heavily on melee use, but we're also running hard on weapons and super rotation. So it's going to be melee, super, and weapons that you want to focus the majority of your character stats towards. In a perfect world, we would like to see our melee stat at 200, which would give us an additional 30% bonus in melee damage, but this might not be easy to make happen. So if you are coming in short on melee or any other stat, you might want to consider using font mods, but these are only going to be active whenever you have armor charges active. If we are using mods like Heavy Handed or Harmonic Siphon, we could easily generate orbs, which would keep those armor charges going. Since we want to regenerate our super quickly, we'll need to be sure to use the Hands-On Helmet mod, which will provide us with bonus super energy off of each enemy that we defeat with our Surge. We now have set bonuses included with new armor, and one of the best options for this build will be the Tech Sec armor set. This plays into the use of kinetic weapon damage, which would go great with weapons like the Monte Carlo, the Perfect Paradox, or the Aurora Neutralizer. This provides over 150% bonus kinetic damage whenever used against combatant shields, overshields, and constructs, and that's activated whenever wearing 2 set pieces. And by wearing 4 pieces, you'll trigger a disorienting blast whenever breaking shields and defeating elite level enemies. This blast will disorient nearby enemies, and it's going to count as kinetic damage. But the key component in using this armor set is running kinetic weapons, which is why we are using the Monte Carlo. But as we've already stated, a kinetic shotgun with 1-2 punch would be an absolutely incredible option. Overall, this is a tremendous build that's great for clearing out big groups of ads. It's got a ton of healing attributes and a ton of bonus damage. So if you're looking for a great Warlock build to get you through this new expansion's content, then look no further than a Prismatic Slotlock with Syntheseps and Necrotic. And once you've given it a try, let us know what you thought. If you need help setting up this build on your own, then be sure to check out my Mobalytics link, which is down in the description. That's going to wrap things up for today's video, but thank you as always for checking it out. If you enjoyed and found it helpful, then be sure to hit that like button below, along with the subscribe button if you're new. Both are greatly appreciated, and both really do help support the channel. And until next time, Guardians, this has been Profane, wishing you all some happy hunting.